for someone who has been operating out of pain and stagnating in fear, how easy would you say it is to flip that switch?
Sure. I think it's taken a lot of curiosity and discovery to get to what I think is the switch. The switch is a simple question: is it true? And it turns out that 99.9999% of everything that we ever fear never ever happens, and it's never going to happen. And if you track back, like one of the exercises I will do with the highest level senior executives, right down to young kids, when I have the privilege, and I'll call it the privilege, to be sitting with somebody who's vulnerable enough to be expressing fear or anxiety to me. And I felt like, I've been in so many of those situations where, just like you shared earlier, like folk will come to me, and through my life, people have come to me at certain moments in their life, and I found that they've come to me for a few reasons. And one of them was like, I'm really struggling, I'm really suffering with something. And it was an interesting pressure to have, because you kind of have to have an answer, and you want to be able to help a person. And to be honest, most of the time I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. But there was always something that would channel through. And I think this was this interesting relationship that built with courage. But through this, I've come to realize that when I've questioned and done inquiry into what people are fearing, or the anxiety, the apprehensions they have, the things that they are just so paralyzed, they're either fighting against or they freeze against, they never, ever, ever come true. And most of them are illusions. Most of them are fictitious stories that we tell ourselves in our mind. And so, knowing that 99.9999% of most of these things never, ever come true, humans around us have been building lives. In marriages, they in jobs, they live in places, they have identities, which are not. They're not living in their authenticity and their truth. They're living in the perception that if this fear came true, it would be so drastic for me, so I better not do the thing. I'm going to avoid these things, and then I live into a fear state. And then the fear state, humans are also interesting, is that we will reinforce ourselves. We have biases. I think there's lots of scientific research on, like, there's 7 or 8 different kinds of biases that we lean into. But if you ask somebody, okay, write down your fear. So this is the exercise for those listening. This is the exercise. Just in your own quiet time, write down everything you fear, personally, professionally, in life. Just write down the fear. I'm afraid I will lose my job. I'm afraid this person will leave me. I'm afraid a car will come out of nowhere and knock me over. I'm afraid an alien will land on and steal my brain. Like, I don't know. It's crazy what people fear. Then in one column, write down your fears. In the second column next to that, just say, is it true? Can you know that it's going to come true? Where's the evidence and the proof? And the chances are that almost 100% of the time, it's you cannot know. And there's no proof that it will come true. And so what's interesting in that moment is what I've come to now lean into is to say, so let me reframe it. So imagine you have an abundance of courage. You have an unlimited resource, the same way that there's oxygen and air on this planet, or there's water in the oceans. You have this unlimited ability to tap into infinite courage. What would your courage recommend you do in this moment? If you didn't believe the fear, but you lean into the courage, and without hesitation, an answer comes.
Yeah.
And then people are left with a choice. And the choice is, you can believe your illusion, or you can come to realization it's not true. And then you can take a courageous action to actually believe in something bigger and better.